suddenly a three-dimensional holographic image appears of whatever you photographed. You know, you see photographs, holographic photographs of people, and they look as solid as you do and I do now. And what we're doing all the time is creating holograms with our minds. So the one level of our mind, a subconscious level of mind, creates the thought field of belief, and this conscious mind then takes that information in the process I talked about earlier and turns it into a three-dimensional holographic representation of that thought field. Now, if you take a holographic photograph of a person and you fire that laser onto the pattern and they manifest as a three-dimensional, literally illusion, you can put your hands through it even though they look solid. As long as that laser continues to shine on that plane, that image will not change. It will not age. And we are holograms, so there's no reason why we should age. The reason we do is because we believe in it. You know, it's just, oh, you're 40 now, you should. It's all reinforcing this. This is what I should be. Therefore, that's what will manifest. I wonder to see how many people. I would have told you the story last time I was on, but there's a famous story talking about illusion of a man called Wright, and he got a very, very advanced, rapidly expanding cancer, and he was in hospital, and basically the doctors waited for him to die. He comes across this, and he's a great believer in the power of medicine and stuff like that. And he came across this drug that was long name beginning with K, which was on trial as a cancer drug. And he pestered his doctor to get him on this drug, even though it was not in official circulation. The doctor thought it was a waste of bloody time. But anyway, he eventually conceded and got this guy on the drug. He gave it him on the Friday, and then went off for the weekend, the doctor, expecting to come back, finding the guy dead. When he came back, the guy's out of bed for the first time in weeks. And in the days that followed, as they tested him, the cancers would get smaller, 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 and eventually he was cancer-free. He went home. He was fine for 2 months. Then he read in the newspaper the trials of this drug were not going well and it was not proven to be effective. The cancer came back. He goes back to the doctor, and the doctor now has started to suss what's going on here, what's happening in his mind. So the doctor said to him, no, I tell you what, that report was about a faulty batch. That's what it's about. We've got the real stuff, okay? So don't worry about it. And what he did was he injected it with a meaningless substance. And what they found in placebo experiments is that people react to the placebo more powerfully if it's injected rather than given through the mouth, because the perception in the mind is that something injected is more powerful, you see. So that's all illusion. So anyway, this guy's cancer goes away. And off he goes for another few months. And then he picks up the paper, and he sees that the American Medical Association have announced that trials of this drug are stopping because it's proved to be useless. Now this guy's mind's got no hope, and he died of cancer shortly afterwards. Now, if that is the scale at which we are manifesting our belief as a physical expression, the body is literally an expression of the mind, and therefore it reflects the state of the mind. Just one and the other are the same. It means that if we have a belief, as we're talking about in aging, then we will age. The other thing is that it's interesting how many people are told by doctors that they have, say, 6 months to live, who died around 6 months. And how many people get cancer and other diseases and what have you, because doctors and scientists have said that if you do this, you've got a much greater chance of this and the other. How many people get breast cancer because they get told by their doctors they've got the breast cancer gene, or that it runs in their family, right? And the more I look at this, the more I realize that what we call genetic inherited disease is actually it's a program. It's like a computer program, passed on from generation to generation. And if you believe in the program, even subconsciously, because a lot of this stuff is going on subconsciously, you will manifest it, but you don't have to. If you don't believe in it, it can't manifest. If you don't believe at a deep level that just because your mother or previous generations have died of this disease or whatever, or got cancer, if you don't believe in it, it cannot manifest, because what can manifest is only that which we believe. Because, like I say, this is an expression of the mind, so this must be an expression only of our belief. When, of course, people are telling you that, hey, you know, your mother or your grandmother, therefore, you know, you've got a much greater chance of this and all that stuff, that reinforces the belief that, oh, God, you know, I'm much more likely to get cancer, so you're more likely to manifest it.
That's a good point that you brought up at a deep level, at the subconscious level. So you're talking a whole different level. They're not wanting to buy into it on a conscious level. So
well, yeah, I think see, intellectually, I know that wall isn't solid, but I couldn't get up and walk through it, right? And this comes back to consensus reality. We have this thing called the 100th monkey syndrome, where they've shown that once a certain number of the species, say monkeys, has been taught something new, suddenly vast numbers of that species can do the same without being trapped into history. It's like most mysteries, it's not mysterious at all, it's very simple. We have our individual mind, or want of a phrase, not what anything really is, and then we are connected as a species to the collective mind, what Carl Jung called the collective unconscious. Now, the collective unconscious also has a sense of reality, and what's happening is individual minds and the collective unconscious are in a constant interaction. The consensus reality of the collective mind is feeding its reality to us, and we are feeding our reality. Now, because of the programming of our reality, we have also added to the programming of the consensus reality to believe this is real, because most people in this world do, therefore the consensus reality is going to. And what people who do miracles are doing is actually disconnecting from that consensus reality, in truth. And so, although this level of me is completely aware that's not solid, I'm still connected to consensus reality, which believes it is. So intellectually, I know it's not, but I still live the fact that it is.
But you could disconnect.
Yeah, but this is the challenge, to take control of this. I mean, we're experiencing this world, so I'm glad this bloody chair is solid. I'm already on the bloody floor, and that wouldn't be solid, so I go through the bloody floor, right? So we're interacting with it. It's actually having this world serve us rather than we serving it. Living life rather than life living us. But to do these kind of miraculous things, you need to get out of this influence of the collective reality, because that will keep feeding you the fact this is real. And what the Illuminati are after all the time is the subconscious level, because the more that I understand this, the conscious level, that which is talking now, is an experiencer and a kind of observer. That's when you target the subconscious, not the conscious, because they know that if they can get the subconscious level and impregnate its reality, then it will manifest the thought fields of that reality, which this conscious level will then observe into a holographic representation. And then we experience at this level that reality. Therefore, if they can, like I say, impregnate the subconscious with the reality, then they create this experience. And experiments have shown, for instance, that about 1.5 seconds before we decide to speak or do something consciously, the electrical signals in the brain have started to process people to when someone touches them, they have to press a button. And these experiments have shown that the brain's awareness of the touch is like instant.